Hey guys, so I just got out of Barnes & Noble because I finished 3 books within 4 days. Yeah, so I basically ran out of novels to read. So I have a lot of poetry novels left at my house to read. But those are kind of books that I just read in between reading novels. I read those. I was gonna say I read those in my free time, but I read books in my free time. Obviously. Those are quick reads. Poetry novels aren't super intense to read, but those are kind of books that I read sporadically. I usually don't read them in one sitting. You know what I'm saying? I needed more novels, is what I'm trying to get at. I needed more actual novels. That's what I'm getting at. So, I went to Barnes & Noble, and I kind of went in blankly, with a blank slate, not really with any intentions of buying a certain book. I really wanted Illuminae files, but for some reason I could not find them. And is it just me, or does anybody else feel really weird going into a bookstore asking where a book is? Because I'm in that bookstore literally all the time. I help other people find books in that bookstore, so I feel if I ask where a book is, I feel awkward. So I didn't ask where it was, but it's way cheaper on Amazon. It's originally 18 bucks, and on Amazon it's 11. So I'm buying it online. Are you kidding? I don't even like hardcover books. Not a fan of them. Way more into softcover books. They're way more comfortable to read, in my opinion. I like to fold the cover. I know a lot of people are don't fold the cover. I don't really care. I like to be comfortable when I read. So I prefer the soft cover. Soft cover is always cheaper, but on Amazon for some reason, the Illuminae files hardcover is $11. Soft cover is $12. So I'm just gonna order that once I finish the books that I picked up. So yeah, I basically went in with no emotions. The books that I just finished were, the first one was The Alchemist. I finished that I think on Saturday, I want to say. No. Friday? I don't know. I don't know. I finished it over the weekend. I finished The Alchemist. And then after The Alchemist, I picked up Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle. I love Kurt Vonnegut. His style of writing is one of my favorites. I love all of his little motifs, and I love his unique style of writing. I've only read 2 books by him. I read Slaughterhouse-Five, which is obviously his most famous novel. Most people read that in high school, which is when I read it. I read it my senior year, so this past year. And then that pushed me to read another one of his novels. So I picked up Cat's Cradle, and it was great. I finished it in one sitting at Barnes & Noble. Someone's looking at me vlog, and it's honestly funny. Hi, how are you? They honestly, no one cares if you vlog, but I feel funny. So yeah, it was really, really good. I highly recommend. It's definitely a different type of writing. If you did not like Slaughterhouse-Five, you will not like Cat's Cradle. Probably. I mean, it's the same type of writing. It's the same type of mystical world. It's a lot of satire. So it's a lot of like, he like makes fun of different things, which I find very entertaining. I think it's really funny. I really enjoy it. But yeah, that was a little rant. So I finished that, and then I finished, what did I just finish? Oh, A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. Oh my goodness, that book, shot to the freaking heart. Like, man, that was such a good book. Like, ooh, I have chills thinking about it. Like, can you see the chills? Can you see the chills? I have chills thinking about it. Someone's watching me vlog. Hello, man. How are you? It was so good. Like, when I heard everyone talking about it on YouTube, I was like, oh my god, I need to go out and get it. The day it came out, I bought it. Like, I went to the bookstore and I bought it, and I was like, I need to read this, but for some reason I put it off. Honestly, this sounds like the dumbest reason, but I think it's because it was a hardcover. I'm telling you guys, I don't like hardcovers. They honestly put me off. I don't like reading them. And most of the time when I read a hardcover, like, I don't get into it because I don't like the feeling of the book. So, like, I'll wait until the book comes out in a soft cover if I want the book. But this book literally looked so good that I needed it, so. Dying. So, yeah, I finished it yesterday. I read 90 pages of it, like 90 something pages of it the night before last night, and then I finished the rest of it last night. And it was so good. I love the characters. Like, you attach to the characters. Julian, oh my goodness. Like, I want to be his friend. I want to be in his life. Like, I want to give him a big old hug. Adam seems like the greatest human ever. He has such a kind heart, and he like seems like such a real person. Like, he seems like someone I know, because I feel like that happens a lot in friend groups where there's like a lot of popular people in the friend group and like really well known, but there's that one kid that's really well known, but he's such an upbeat, happy person. Like, people genuinely like him because he's a nice person, not because he's popular. You know what I mean? And that's what Adam is. He's a kid with ADHD. He's super happy all the time. Like, he's never had like a dull day in his life. Like, he's always happy. And he's like super nice to everyone. I don't know, it's like a really good book, and like the relationships between the characters, like you feel like they're real, and like the twists and turns in the book really make it real. Like, it doesn't seem, someone pulled up right behind me, and why does this happen to me? And I'm really sad. I'm still gonna keep filming though, because like, honestly, I'm just gonna close my back windows. What was I saying? Frick. Oh, it doesn't seem like the twists and turns that happened were just because of plot points. Like, it genuinely felt like it was his story. Until the end. The end was a little, not gonna lie, something that happened in the end was like a little bit, I don't know. If you read it, if you know what I mean, but I don't like to give spoilers to people because spoilers are the worst. But at Adam's like party, it was like a little, that seemed a little much, but sometimes I feel like authors have like kind of a rough patch and they don't really know where else to turn, and it seems like that was the only way to go, maybe, in the author's mind. I don't know. But yeah, overall, that was a really good book. I highly recommend it. Really good. So yeah, so those are the 3 books I've read. And now these are the books that I got. Like I said, I didn't have like a specific mindset and what I wanted. Oh my god, I can't speak. So I kind of went in like blind, basically. Except for Illuminate Files, but I couldn't find it, so I'm gonna get it on Amazon. So, I basically went through the like fiction literature area. At this Barnes & Noble, I go to 2 Barnes & Nobles. I like this one better for the fiction literature area. I like the other one better for the teen fiction YA area. So in that aspect, I kind of have to choose which one I'm kind of searching for, because I feel like this one has better and a little bit better of a layout for the fiction literature area, and the other one has a better like YA one, and they're both about the same distance from me, so it's not like I'm traveling far. But if you cared, I don't know why I'm telling you that. But so today I was looking for more fiction literature than YA. I took a gander in the YA, nothing caught my eye. I looked at a few and I was like, none of these are looking interesting. I don't know, lately YA has not really been like my thing, which is so weird because I've never been like drawn to. Oh my god, I can't speak. This pimple's so bad. It's like a mouth. I've never been like drawn to anything but YA really, except for like a few books that we read in school. This angle's terrible. So I don't know, it's like kind of cool that like I've been branching out and like trying different genres, especially since I want to read like Illuminate and stuff, because I've never read anything like that. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to show you the books because I keep procrastinating that and like so the first book that I picked up was The Circle by David Eggers. This is definitely different for me. I've never read anything like this. I'll read the back to you. I'm pretty sure this is like a pretty popular novel. It literally says international bestseller at the top. And I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, is this gonna be a movie? I had to look that up. I'm pretty sure I saw a trailer for something like this. That's not why I picked this up, because like I just realized that like as I was walking to my car, I was like, wow, that emblem looks so familiar, and like the circle sounds like so familiar, and like the story, I don't know. I had to look that up because now I'm like super intrigued about it, but I'll read the back to you if you've never heard of this and you want to know more about it. But it says, when May Holland is hired to work for The Circle, the world's most powerful internet company, she feels she's been given the opportunity of a lifetime. Even as life behind the campus grows distant, even as a strange encounter with the colleague leaves her shaken, even as her role at The Circle becomes increasingly public, what begins as the captivating story of one woman's ambition and idealism soon becomes a heart-racing novel of suspense, racing questions about memory, history, privacy, democracy, and limits of human knowledge. So it sounds like a super captivating books, reading, literature. Something I want to do with my life, but absolutely have no idea how to communicate to humans. Yay! Super captivating novel is what I meant to say, but can't speak for my life. Yeah, so it sounds really cool and different, and so I want to read it. I think this is the first book out of all three of them that I'm going to read, because it's the longest and it's the most different out of like all the books that I've like read. So circle sounds pretty cool. Next book is by the same author. This is actually the first book that I picked up by him. And then I saw that it said like he's the author of The Circle or whatever, so then I found The Circle. This one's The Wild Things by David Eggers, and I was like, The Wild Things, isn't that like a child's book, like a children's book, like the, you know, that movie too, it's a movie, and I love that movie. I have that movie, it's such a good movie, and I used to love the book when I was little. So I read the back of this and it sounds so cool. It says, I mean, like, it's literally like The Wild Things. Like, if you've seen the movie or read the children's book, it's literally that, but adult version. Isn't that so cool? So yeah, it says Max is a rambunctious 8-year-old whose world is changing around him. His father is absent, his mother is increasingly distracted, and his teenage sister has outgrown him. Convinced his family doesn't want him anymore, Max flees home, finds a boat, and sails away. Arriving on an island, he meets strange and giant creatures who rage and break things, who trample and scream. These beasts do everything Max feels inside. And so Max appoints himself their king. Here on a magnificent adventure with all these funny and complex monsters, Max can be the wildest thing of all. So it sounds really good. And then under it says, based on the screenplay Where the Wild Things Are, written by Spike Jonze and Dave Eggers. This is a visionary adaptation of Maurice Sendak's classic work. The novel brings an imaginary world vividly to life, telling the story of a lonely boy navigating the emotional journey away from boyhood. So it sounds really good, and I'm super excited for this. Like, honestly, out of all three of these, I think I'm the most excited for this one. And this one, I think out of all of them is the shortest, and like also because of the fact that like the writing, not the writing, the like text is huge. You probably cannot tell at all. I'm like failing at life. The text is big, is my point. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. So I got two by David Eggers. I'm saying Eggers because that sounds so much better than Eggers, but they're probably both wrong, and that's probably not how you pronounce his name either way, so I'm probably butchering his name, I'm so sorry. And the last book that I got, I was gonna say I've never heard of. I've never heard of those two books either. Well, I might have heard of The Circle. I don't know. I have to look that up. But I've definitely never heard of this book. But it sounded really interesting, and like the cover like caught my eye. Like it was like sitting like this on the shelf, and I just saw the title, The Fuck Up. So I picked it up. Yeah, and it sounds so interesting. And like that's the front cover, and I really like it. It's by Arthur Nersian. I don't know. Bless me. But basically, the little synopsis on the back says, Arthur Nersian's underground literary treasure is an unforgettable slice of gritty New York City life. ... In the darkly hilarious odyssey of an anonymous slacker, couch surfer, an aspiring writer searching for himself in spite of himself, and he's just trying to survive, but life has other things in store for the fuck up. From being dumped by his girlfriend to getting fired for asking for a raise, from falling into a robbery to posing as a gay man to keep his job at a porno theater. The fuck-up's tragic comedy, is perfectly realized by Arthur Nersian, I don't know how to say his last name, who manages to create humor and suspense out of urban desperation. Read it and howl, says Bruce Benderstein, author of User. And glad it didn't happen to you. So, I don't know. It just, like, it sounds different. It sounds interesting. And I read, like, a little bit of the book on the inside. And it just sounds super good. So, I don't know. I'm excited. So, I hope I don't get censored for saying the F word. And I hope my mom doesn't get mad at me for saying the F word because it was on a book. But yeah, so I guess I'll check up with you if and when I read more today, or what I'm doing today. Yeah, I'm supposed to meet up with my mom to like get dinner or something. Right now she's getting her nails done. But she hasn't contacted me since then, so I think I was like gonna start one of the books, but then I was like, hey, I can vlog this, so that's what I'm doing, bros. So I'm probably just gonna sit back in my car and read some. Peace out. I'll check in later. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Where are we going?
Mara.
Heck yeah! Where's it all? It's putting on the Ritz.
Not ready for me.
I know, I was gonna make you do it. Got him! You can sit with that there. My old Journeys thing that I refuse to take off because it's cute. Hold it.
Is this yours that I stole?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Did you find another one?
What?
Did you find another one?
Yeah, I like the clear one better. They're by the... You're bad at vlogging. You can show yourself.
Do I really want to? Hi.
Yeah, they're by the cash registers at Target. The book that I really wanted, they didn't, like, have. Well, actually, I think they do have it, but I was too scared to ask if they had it because I feel like a fraud if I ask where books are in Barnesville because I live here. So I'm just gonna order on Amazon because it's like $7 cheaper anyway. Because I hate card covers.
This was supposed to be a light purple.
Well,
I had
a
3
fail.
sticks that I couldn't decide which one I wanted. So I finally decided, and I handed her the 1 stick. I said, I want this color, and gave her the other 2 sticks. And then she started painting my nails, and I was watching a TV show and didn't realize what color she was painting them until I was like, wow, that's not purple.
Did she just pick the wrong color, or did you...
I don't know. I think she took the wrong stick and picked the color for the wrong stick. But, I mean, this was probably one of the colors I picked, but it wasn't the one I actually picked.
I have a very dark
But I
color.
still like it, so it's okay.
It's okay, you can get light purple next time. We'll see you at Panera.
Hi.
What?
You do half a lobster roll.
Yeah. Hmm?
Any kind of dressing in it?
So it's dark out. I am currently going to a local like convenience store to get ice cream because I'm really in the mood for ice cream. So it's currently like 8:40. So that's what I'm doing. I'll let you know what kind I get once I do that because honestly, I like knowing what everybody's favorite ice cream is. So I'll check in. Hello, muchachos. So I'm gonna turn light. Is that better or worse? Who knows? I got ice cream. This one's my father's. I got him peanut butter cup, which is super generic, but like honestly, I didn't know what else to get him. I know he likes peanut butter. But I also know he likes like chocolatey stuff, so I don't know. I was struggling, I was stressing. So I got that, and I got chocolate fudge brownie. This is like my favorite one. I also like the Tonight Dough. That one's real good. Oh, I should have got that one because that has like peanut butter cookie dough for like him, whatever. I got this one for me. So I'm probably gonna go inside and read and eat some ice cream. Nutrition.